Welcome back to another extra spicy episode. It's Landon, and then we have Evan in the studio.
Yes,
and
sir.
then we have a guest co-host in the studio as well. His name's Hunter. Introduce yourself.
What's up, guys? My name's Hunter. I am a friend of Evan's, and I will be joining y'all on this great podcast today.
So, to give y'all more clarification, if y'all listen to the last episode podcast, I said that he's one half of the devil's on my shoulder. I call this motherfucker a whore. He called me. He's like, I need to get on my podcast.
I need to defend myself, brother.
Well, you're a retired whore now.
Yes, I have a girlfriend.
He's retired. Loves. I don't want Miss Lauren coming after me.
She will come after you,
brother. We're making it known now. You are a retired whore, but you're still on my shoulder, convincing me.
I have all the knowledge in my bag, just can't use it. I'm a coach now.
Well, I guess we might see as the podcast progresses how that might play out. Anyways, we got a good podcast here. We talk about some sports segments. The NBA playoffs are right around the corner. The season has gone and passed, and now it's playoff time, baby.
Yes, sir.
You got Boston, you got Cleveland, and all the other teams.
You got the Atlanta Hawks going to get in?
No, that's not happening.
Yeah, it is
Miami all the way, baby.
Dyson Daniels going to take
Tyler
that from
Hero,
him.
baby goat.
Nope.
Hey, Dyson Daniels, what happened to him? Where was he playing last season?
Look, we don't talk
And
about
then
it.
why did the Pelicans give him up? That's strange.
Because he wasn't doing shit for us, but now he's doing shit for another organization. All right.
Interesting. Okay, well, let's just jump into the playoffs.
So, this topic's between both of y'all. This is a baseball topic. If y'all really do want to get into it, like, what do y'all think about these opening games so far? And what are y'all's opinions on it?
Paul Skeens shows. That's all you gotta know. Paul Skeens is an absolute animal, brother.
Paul Skeens is so good. I mean, baseball's so fun, and I'm so excited. We have games, and I'm trying to go to some baseball games this season. I went to 2 last season. I'm trying to go to some majors this season. I'm really enjoying what the Padres are doing. They're hot with Tatis slinging it. Ooh, love to go to a Padres game.
He's on fire right now.
And then Dodgers super good, as everyone thought they'd be. I mean, it's just unfair how good the Dodgers are.
Yeah, the Dodgers have Shohei, Freddie Freeman, plus a bunch of other talent. It's crazy what they're accomplishing. Granted, they're putting themselves in a hole later on by borrowing money from future salary caps and stuff, which is like a gray area. But
in the current day, they're so stacked. It's such a stacked roster.
Yeah, for right now, they're on paper they're the favorites to win just about everything.
Right. I mean, the easy pick would just Dodgers easy repeat. Right. And then in the East, you have the Knicks, good as ever, but they lost Juan Soto over the Mets. We're going to see how that plays out.
Yeah. Juan Soto was on the Yankees, and then he got offered a bag, which honestly I don't blame him.
Take that bag.
If you're going to get a bag for playing just off rip is crazy. Plus the torpedo bats the Yankees got.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They're rushing the ball right now. It's absolutely wild.
Some say it's really unfair, but if any team can do it,
it's all about where you put. It's not outside of regulation. Let's go with that. Because I looked into this because I was like, this is kind of a weird bat. It's not the normal bat that somebody would usually swing, and they're basically moving where most of the barrel is to where you're mostly hitting the ball. So all the plays that are getting jammed now are not, because they're moving the barrel in more, which is where the sweet spot is. So you're hitting the ball better, and it gives you a better area. So you're not going to get as jammed as much, which gives you a better chance of hitting the ball.
If any team can do it, then it's not like the Astros situation. That's totally against the rules.
And the fact that there's no necessarily rule against this is like a loophole for the MLB, and it's how they're able to, I guess, give a better performance to the fans in the stadium, Because, a 6-year-old that catches a ball from, I don't know, Aaron Judge or one of the star players, that's going to make their year. That's going to be one of the top moments of their year.
Everyone loves to see home runs.
They're going to bring that back to first grade and bring it to show and tell and, all that.
Look what I got, a ball.
Yeah, I'd be like, this is from Aaron Judge. You can see me on TV.
But everyone loves to see home runs. I would love to see the home runs go up at the average, like it was in the 90s. Okay, bring steroids back. That's my take.
Bring steroids back.
Bring steroids back.
Fuck the drug
make
test.
Juan Soto the next Barry Bonds.
Yeah. I want to see more home runs. I want home runs to go up.
It does add an elevation to the game that makes it more exciting for viewers. And so many people say that baseball's so slow and boring, and then that just adds an extra level of excitement that can bring new fans in. So personally, I'm all for it, and it's not against the rules set by the MLB. So why not use R&D and development for something to make your team better?
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm personally not against it, so do what you want, as long as it's within the rules. Granted, if you do outlaw these, then stop using them, but for right now, there's no rule against it.
For sure. And like I said previously, rest in peace, Oakland. I feel bad for Oakland.
Oh, yeah.
R.I.P. Hope you get a team back.
Yeah, that's sad.
All right, I guess let's jump into basketball.
All right. So we got our NBA playoff predictions. Now, if you are a long-time viewer, a long-time viewer.
Probably no one.
I don't know. We could still have a viewer from Germany. We don't know.
Shout out.
We guess we still got to look at the statistics. We still got to look at the statistics. But if you are a long-time viewer, okay? If you somehow are. If you are a long-time viewer, you would know that we did this last year. And so we talked about who won that in the very first episode. Now, we talked about getting a prize for someone, but we never did. So basically, what this is, though, is we predict the NBA playoffs, okay? And so we predict them in the games, and we predict them in how many games they're going to beat them by. So let's just say I pick Cleveland to beat the Miami Heat in 4 games, okay? So I get a point. That's 1 point for the team that advances, okay? And then I get 2 points for if I get the games correct. So do you want me to start off with my bracket, or do you want to go?
Oh, you finally ready to start? You took forever there, bud.
Well, I had to explain to new viewers.
What y'all do is y'all read off the games and be like, who do you got? And we have like a little group powwow.
Yeah, that's what we'll do. Okay, so first series we start with Cleveland and either the Heat or the Hawks.
I got Heat.
Heat and what?
Heat and 6.
Heat and 6. I got
Cavs and 5.
I got Cavs and 5 too.
Hold on. You starting all the way east.
We got East. So next we got Indiana, Milwaukee. With Dame back, I guess. The Bucks will take it in 7. I just don't think they're good enough to beat the Pacers convincingly. They have just about the same record as the Pacers. I don't think they're all that.
I got the Bucks in 6.
I got the Bucks in 6. I believe in Giannis.
Hell yeah.
Giannis. Okay. And then the Cavs and Bucks will play each other. Like I was saying before, I don't think the Bucks are all that. I think Cleveland's a much better team, and they've shown it all regular season. With that being said, give me the Cavs in 5.
I got the Cavs in 6. I feel like Giannis and Dame's going to put up at least one monster performance, and then they're going to lose. They're going to get 2 games, and then they're going to lose.
Kyle Kuzma's going to drag that team down.
I got the Bucks in 7.
All right. Don't forget the other matchups.
Okay, in the other half of the East bracket, we have the Knicks playing the Pistons.
Detroit, you had a good run.
Detroit, yeah, they had a good run, but this will be a fun series. I think defensive series, but Knicks in 5 for me.
Knicks in 5.
I'll also go Knicks in 5.
All right, now we got Boston, Orlando. I think Orlando is not that great of a team. and they have many holes in the roster. With that being said, give me Boston in a sweep.
Boston and sweep too.
I will also go Boston in the sweep.
Okay, that leaves Knicks, Boston Celtics. Knicks versus Celtics. I think Celtics are again much better team. They shouldn't throughout the regular season. I don't think the Knicks have beaten the Celtics this season. I think the games are going to be close, but the Boston Celtics are way too much for the Knicks to handle. So give me the Celtics in 6.
I got the Celtics in 6 too.
Do we have the same exact picture?
Give me the Celtics in
I don't-
5.
Well, we gotta
There we go.
wait for Western Conference.
Yeah, okay. Well, to finish off the East side, we got Cleveland, Boston. This would be a great series, I think.
Give me Cleveland.
This is going to be, I think, the one great series in the East.
I got Cleveland in 6.
I have Boston in 7. You have
No,
Cleveland?
not Cleveland. Celtics. My bad.
Okay, I have Boston in 7. I think two teams match up really well against each other, and it's a good dog fight. But Celtics are so good.
Yeah, I got Celtics in 6. You got them a little
In
higher
7.
game. Yeah.
I'll go Celtics in 6.
All right.
I believe in Evans.
That's
Western Conference.
Bad
You
bad
and
decisions.
So
Bad decision
I'm
believing
going
in Evans brackets.
Yeah, don't believe in Evans brackets. That's a really bad idea.
They're great.
Hey, the
until
King won
second
last
round.
year, so keep that in mind. You can't be
You
talking.
won by 1 point.
I'm the defending champ,
1
baby.
point.
Defending champ. Come take the title away from me.
Okay.
You
go
can't
ahead.
take no title
Read
away
the
from me.
matchups, go
So
Watch me take the title. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
I know very little about basketball.
Yeah.
Alright, so-
Hunter's over here. He's gonna take the title. Watch him.
no. So watch.
He's gonna beat Evan for sure.
No, hell no. So then
Language.
the first game is. I said hell no. I said the first.
That's language, bro.
Hell's
What are
not
you,
a curse
Captain
word.
America?
Yeah, Captain America. Yeah.
Language.
All right. So the first game is the Thunder versus the A seed. So that could either be the Mavericks or Grizzlies. So I have Thunder in 6.
I have Thunder in 4. I don't
Damn.
believe in this Dallas team, and I think Grizzlies are a much worse team than they were before all of the drama.
I got Thunder in 6. I feel like the Thunder are very beatable.
I'll go Thunder in 6 as well.
All right. And so then the next games I have are Nuggets and Clippers.
I think this would be a really good series.
Huh?
I think it's be a really good series.
Do you have Denver?
No, I don't. I have Clippers,
Oh.
but I think it's be a really good series.
I got Clippers in 7.
I have Clippers in 6.
I have Denver in like 7.
See, Jokic doesn't have much help, and
He's still Jokic.
Yeah, he's still Jokic. But-
He's still
but-
Jokic.
but he's got a point though.
R.I.P. to Michael Malone, though.
Yeah, they fired their coach before playoffs too.
Don't care.
Okay, it's a bad
Jokic.
season to
Jokic.
have an NBA coach named Mike. All 3 of them got fired
Yep,
this
Jokic.
season. Did you
Jokic.
see that?
I did.
Jokic.
All right.
Funny.
So
Nuggets in 7.
next we got the Lakers and Timberwolves.
Like,
You go.
Lakers in 5.
I got Lakers in 6.
Divorce court, child support, blue door, Lakers in 5.
Okay.
So let's go.
Next game, Rockets versus Warriors. Not Rockers. Rockets versus Warriors.
Rockers.
The Rockets
Oh.
versus Warriors.
Steph Curry scored 3 points last time you played the Rockets, so that might have something to do with how this game plays out.
I got the Rockets in 6.
I got Warriors in 7.
Because I feel, here's why. You got Warriors in 7?
Yeah,
Ooh.
I do.
'Cause I do believe, though, that Jimmy Butler will have a big...
Jimmy Butler? Say his name, bro. What's his name?
Jimmy Butler?
Jimmy Buckets.
No, Jimmy Butler.
Playoff Jimmy.
Playoff Jimmy, bro.
I got Golden State in 6. If you have Jimmy on your team, you have a good chance.
That's
If you
what
have
I'm
Steph
saying.
Curry, you have a wonderful chance.
Put those two together,
Wonderful chance.
make a sweet baby. Oh, come on.
and
I
you know
love
what?
to see
And
that.
you know what?
baby.
Steph Curry adjusts very well. So
All right, so the next
try and
game,
guard a half court shot.
the next game, okay, this would be second round. We got Thunder and we got the Clippers. I got the Thunder in 7.
Thunder Clippers. I think it's gonna be a good series. I have Thunder in 6.
Damn.
I have Thunder in 7.
All right, Lakers and Rockets.
Lakers in 5.
I already said it. But what are you doing? PGA, TSA, USA. Lakers in 5.
Ooh, this man has Lakers in 5 too.
I got Lakers in 7.
Bro, why don't you have Lakers in 5?
Why won't you just listen to Unk?
This actually
why won't you listen to Unk?
Because I'll tell
This
you,
actually kind of annoying.
Listen to Unk, bro.
because
Listen
I'll tell you
Unk,
why.
come on.
I'll tell you why. I don't trust the Lakers front court. I don't trust them bigs. Them like, when you have Jackson Hayes as your main big.
Okay,
Versus
the
the-
Warriors don't have bigs either. So it's a mute point. Or the Houston, you have Houston. They don't have any like great bigs
Yeah.
besides Sin.
But Houston's got like Dylan Brooks and Thompson. They're gonna be more defenders than anything.
Jimmy Butler, amazing defender. Stat just shooting threes over everybody. Who's defending.
But I have the Lakers in 7. But I do believe the Lakers will win it though. But in 7 games though, it's gonna be tough for them. Then, what next game do we have? Okay, so Lakers.
I think we all have OKC versus.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're in the conference finals now. Okay,
Yeah,
so
come
we got the Thunder and Lakers. I have Lakers in 7.
I actually have OKC in 6. I think this Thunder team is just so good this season.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again, boys. Lakers at 5.
And then-
He's riding Lakers all the way, folks.
And then Cavs and Celtics. I got Celtics in 6.
we already did that East. We already did the East.
We already did.
Okay, move on to the
All right,
finals.
all right. So then I got Lakers and Celtics. So then
Your 2025 NBA final match.
Lakers and 6. So Lakers and 6. I
You have-
said Celtics.
You have Lakers playing who?
Celtics.
Lakers and Celtics.
I got Celtics in 6, not
You have
Lakers.
Celtics in 6. You know, old school rivalry coming to the new school. Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown versus LeBron and Luca. I like the matchup. However, I'm riding OKC versus Celtics, and I'm gonna show my bias. I'm very anti-Celtics, so I'm picking OKC in 6.
Say the line.
Lakers at 5. I'm going Lakers win.
You're going Lakers win?
I trust in Unk. Okay.
He-
Shannon Sharp knows what he's talking about.
I've never heard that said before. I've never heard that said before.
Hunter's trusting in Shannon Sharp.
I'm trusting in Shannon Sharp.
But
he said there's many. All right, I'll say this. I know very little about basketball, but what I do know is every time I go on TikTok, Lakers in 5. It's all Lakers in 5 from first take.
I don't know.
So Lakers in 5.
I think I would trust Shaq more to make a 3-pointer than to trust Shannon Sharp.
Yeah.
He has before. Okay, Shannon Sharp has been wrong so many times. He has to be right now.
But here's why I have the Celtics winning in 6.
Go ahead.
It's the same thing with the big problem, with like the Lakers thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time though, the Lakers defensive scheme is really not that hard to break through because Luka doesn't play any defense, and you talking to the biggest Luka fan. And so what they devised is, so they just gonna let whoever Luka's guarding blow past him, okay? And so whenever they collapse in, Luka's just gonna run to the other dude's man. So practically gonna look like this. So old boy's gonna drive past him. Dude's gonna drop down right here. So bam.
You know the viewers can't see. What you're
I
writing,
know,
right?
but I'm showing you though.
He's explaining.
I'm explaining to y'all. I'm gonna explain when we do get cameras. But
There you go.
I said
there
win.
you go.
I said win. I said win.
Okay.
I didn't say yeah.
Okay, good.
But yeah, dude's gonna drop down right there. Luka's gonna run to the other defender, and then he's gonna try to throw it to the open man. Luka's gonna already be right there to take it. That's their whole defensive scheme.
Yeah, I agree. You can exploit the Lakers very easily, and they've shown that. Even with Luka, they have holes in that team that's like systematic. You can exploit.
So I'll believe like they'll beat like the Thunder. The Thunder aren't that
When
good.
they play a team that's very well coached, that's when the Lakers will run into trouble. And the Warriors are very well coached. The Thunder are very well coached, and the Celtics are very well coached.
That's why I believe in Joe Mazzulla. So
The best defense is more offense. Okay.
Well, that's
as an
the theory.
avid Clash Royale player,
Well, that's
the
the
best
theory,
defense is more offense. Okay, best defense, more offense. Luka, LeBron, not so much Bronny, but all right, Bronny's probably not even play that much.
He's probably not. But I do believe in Joe Mazzulla. I picked him last year. I don't think he's gonna let me down again. But I do believe his defensive scheme is really good. It's now. Here's the thing that could kill both of our brackets. Okay.
Yeah.
If Kawhi gets hurt in the first round,
Well,
we are cooked.
We didn't account for injuries, so any injury would cook our bracket.
Yeah. But I feel like Boston could still get to like the finals without depending on who it is. If Kawhi's out, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be pissed. If Kawhi is out, and like game 4 when they need him to like win the game, I'm gonna be crying because then this is gonna mess me up, mess up my whole bracket. I could have gotten 2 points off of that. So, but I do believe in Joe Mazzulla. I do believe the Lakers had a nice little run this year. Do I believe that they're winning the championship? No.
No.
Every
Hell
Lakers,
no.
every Lakers fan is delusional. So.
Hell no. Just like
I'm not
Cowboys
even a
fans.
Lakers fan.
Just like Cowboys fans. You know what? Cowboys fans, they're also Lakers fans. Did you know that?
I did not know that, man.
They are.
Shit. Shit, they probably root for CeeDee Lamb and LeBron together. So.
I just follow Unk. I just follow Unk. Trust in Unk.
Okay, well, I have the Thunder playing the Celtics in the finals, and, like, my brain tells me Celtics, but my heart tells me Thunder. And I can't, in good conscience, pick the Celtics ever to win. I don't want Celtics fans to be happy. And I personally know 4 Celtics fans. And I hope they cry.
He's been to more Celtics games than Miami Heat games. Like, he's been to Boston's arena more than the Miami Heat's arena.
Yeah, I've never been to the Heat arena, but I have seen the Celtics, and I just watched them get booty smacked by the Heat. By the GOAT, Tyler Hero.
No.
Tyler all the way. Finals bound, baby.
Bro listens to Tyler Hero on Jack Harlow all the time.
Bro.
That'd be my theme. Yeah, that'd be my
That's
theme
his
song,
theme
though.
song.
That'd
Bro.
be my
That's his
theme
theme
song,
song.
bro.
When it first came out, this dude, I remember one of the days.
He just plays it on repeat. That's the only song he has
Bro,
on the playlist.
no.
That's the only song I know. Well, there's other songs that exist, really. What?
It's the only song, bro.
I remember a story like it was yesterday. When we first started the podcast, we were like on episode 4 or 5. Dude walks into the little room that we're done. He just plays Tyler Hero on full blast. I'm looking at him. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? I'm worshiping my GOAT anthem. What are you talking about? I'm praising my Lord today. What are you talking about, Evan? I just looked at him. I said, okay, whatever. And so it's 2025 and he's still doing it. I see.
Okay, listen. The Heat just won their playing game versus the Bulls. Okay.
Not gonna win tomorrow.
I said something to it about Evan. I was like, let me be happy, dog. Like, come on.
But yet he wants me to suffer the whole time. He's over here sending me statistical facts
I
about the
can't
Heat.
help that your team didn't make the playoffs. Like, I can't help that.
Well, I mean, you don't need to rub it in my face. I already said like halfway through the season, oh yeah, we're competing for the Cooper Flag sweepstakes. So
Y'all ain't getting Cooper Flag, bro.
watch us get Cooper
He's
Flag.
going to the Heat.
Watch
him go.
Hell no.
He have a
Hell.
2% chance. Watch him end up in the Heat.
Fuck no.
He's
A
gonna
2% chance is crazy.
He's gonna look so good in a Heat jersey.
He ain't going to
Wearing
the
them
Heat.
Vice, bro. Wearing them Vice colors, he's gonna look so good.
He ain't going to the Heat, bro. I can promise you that. He definitely ain't going to no
The
Heat.
Pelicans are awful.
They are.
Puts me in a mental breakdown every time I watch a game.
Last time you went to a game was courtside.
Yeah, I swear. Every time I watch a game, Evan.
No.
I went to the Pelicans game when they played the Heat. They got beat by 49.
Yeah. They also played against a G League team.
Yeah,
So.
the Pelicans literally had 5 people. The 5 starters, out of the 5, 4 of them were G Leaguers that I've never even heard of.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's why I knew whenever we shut down.
Like what? I knew 2 people on the Pelicans roster that played. 2 people.
What two? Jose and who else?
Jose and I don't remember the other one.
Brandon Boston? Someone?
No, he didn't play.
No.
Brandon Boston didn't play.
I don't know. What you talking about? What, Missy?
No, Missy didn't play.
What the hell?
None of your players played.
Hawkins? Hawkins didn't
No,
play?
he didn't play. Is he still on the roster? I feel like he's never played.
He's still on the roster. We still have him on the roster. Yeah, like, he still plays. It's crazy.
Plays when?
We play him every game.
Every game?
Look,
Not that game.
it's gotten better. It's gotten better with his minutes now. But I still say we fire Willie Green though. But
Yes, I'm also on Team Fire Willie Green. I would love to have a good basketball team in New Orleans that I could go to and actually like, wow, this team can go places.
because
And like, I can go to the atmosphere will be good. Well, atmosphere's no good at this game. But I wanna go to the game and watch a contending team.
me and Lena talked about whenever David Griffin got fired. I told him, I said, I don't know why.
Thank God.
David Griffin didn't do bad. I'm gonna say this: he didn't do bad because it's not his fault that everyone kept getting injured. Now, do I say fire him for the BI trade? Absolutely.
You can't blame injuries for 6 years in a row now. Come on.
Yeah, you can. Especially when your main star player's hurt, and that's the dude you drafted. Now, the 2 years before Zion, okay, you're building off the AD trade. That's understandable. But the Zion trade, or not Zion trade, the Zion pick and everything, that's on you. Now,
That's on him for not drafting good. He should have drafted better.
Well, he did draft good.
He got a lot of picks from the Lakers, and he wasted all of them.
Now he wasted one of them. One of them was Jackson Hayes. That was the only one he wasted. But I will say this though, he did deserve to get fired for that BI trade. In my opinion, I
So
understand.
what did y'all get back for BI? Like nothing.
we-
like a pack of peanuts.
No, I'm gonna tell you what he did, but it wasn't. It's good, but at the same time though, it's not really what I want. So
bag nerds, Western split, kicking the ass, and you got
So what we got was Bruce Brown Jr., Kelly Olynyk, and a first-round pick. That's not bad if you look at it because both those players have expiring contracts. So once that,
Oh, you got Kelly Olynyk, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
so what?
Shout out, Miami Heat legend.
So-
I know the other player, Jamal Cain,
Oh yeah, he
and
did.
I know that because he's a Heat legend.
Oh, but yeah, once those contracts expire, we do have a open like contract slot, so we could get a max contract to somebody. But same time though,
Bro, you should have just traded for Luca.
Yeah,
Apparently, like he was on the market. Apparently.
and believe me, I wanted Luka. I would love Luka in New Orleans, but yeah, I mean, I understand what he did, but at the same time, though, you trade away BI, though. If you would have traded away Zion and you would have gotten that, I would have been like, okay, maybe you would have gotten you should have gotten another first round out of it, too. But it's still not a bad trade. But it is what it is. But I still just say the new GM, Joe Dumars, needs to hire Willie Green,
Yes.
get him alone, and then trade Zion and see where we go from there. Because I still say we trade around Trey Murphy and Herb. So that's my personal opinion because I feel like we can be a lot better without Zion, depending on who we get in return, what we get in return.
I mean, Zion's an amazing player, but he's never in the court.
That's why I say we need to
That
trade.
sums up the whole past Zion.
That's why I say
career so far.
That's why I say we need to trade him when we can. So
Let's go back to this Luka topic, okay? Maybe the Mavericks are actually playing 4D chess because they blew out the Kings. They might beat the Grizzlies. Maybe they actually have something that we don't know. Maybe they're playing this like 5D chess with Rubik's cubes and
maybe getting in.
maybe they know the secret to the universe.
Maybe just getting into the playoffs so so everyone can shut the fuck up about Nico.
But what if they play the Lakers in the conference finals? It's
And then Luke.
Yes,
And then
yes.
Luka and the Lakers versus
The
the
key
Mavericks.
was to trade away their generational talent to get in
AD.
They get Anthony
AD.
to
Davis,
get AD, which we traded away anyway.
who's always injured.
Yeah.
And
So yeah,
we-
maybe that was their play: trade away their generational talent for a guy that's always injured.
Hey,
and
I think
a
the
few other players.
I
and some
think the
draft
Chiefs
picks.
would actually
Nah.
win the next Super Bowl if they trade away Mahomes. Like they just need to trade away Mahomes.
Who
Easy.
would be throwing the
Easy.
ball?
And
Ooh.
at the rate all these sports teams are going, you might.
I mean, you know what? Dodgers just
Next
need
thing
a
you know,
trade deal.
Joe Flacco's throwing the ball to Travis. What? What is
Yeah,
no?
there you go.
Don't
There you go.
trade Mahomes. That's crazy talk.
But yeah, that's what we have going on in. That's what we have going on in basketball right now.
Shout out to the NBA for another great season.
Now, if y'all want to talk about another topic real quick, which is like one that just came up on the fly, y'all want to talk about Aaron Rodgers? Think about where he's gonna go because
Aaron Rodgers at the end of his
Aaron
career.
Rodgers is going to Evan Johnson's house so he can get a very nice night. I'm sure you'll satisfy him.
What the hell?
That was bad.
That was weird.
That was bad.
Yeah, you're laying it. So,
I know you love him, right?
As far as where he ends up, I would say Aaron would probably go to Pittsburgh just to be with Devontae because that's
Devontae.
his. Didn't Devontae go to Pittsburgh?
he went to LA.
Yeah, Devontae.
Devontae went to the Rams.
in Rams.
And then they got
to the Rams.
And
He's on the
then,
Rams.
bro, have you not been keeping up? Then
No, I thought he
Then-
went to Pittsburgh.
then Cooper went to Seattle. We just
I knew that. I knew Cooper Cup went to
we're
Seattle.
just blowing his mind right now. Later.
Yeah, I knew that. I thought Devontae went to Pittsburgh.
But they've also talked about, like, the Saints have also talked about going after Aaron Rodgers because he spoke on the Pat McAfee show today. I don't know if you saw.
I actually didn't get to listen to it. I listened to the first hour, and he's in the second hour. So I need to go back and listen to the second hour.
But he practically summed it up. He was like, I'm not mad at the Jets, but I'm mad at the Jets how they made me fly all the way across the world to come have a 20-second meeting. Be like, hey, because Aaron Glenn asked him, hey, you want to play football? He said, yeah. He's like, okay, we're going in a different direction at quarterback.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
So he was like, yeah, I could have gotten a phone call for that. But they've also said that the Saints could be interested in him if Derek Carr is hurt, if he is either hurt or is faking the injury, because they got some people saying he could be faking the injury. But I do believe, though, that as an Aaron Rodgers guy, I would like to see him go to the Saints.
I don't want him.
But-
I personally don't want him with the Saints either.
I want
but
Jackson Dart as a draft pick. But he's probably not even going to be there.
I want a tank for Arch. That's what I want.
Yeah, he wants to tank for next season.
Oh God, you trying to be Jacksonville?
So, I would like for him personally.
Hey, I don't mind taking. Let it be a fun tank.
Let it be a fun tank.
Yeah, we can have fun with it. Come on.
If you wanted a fun tank, you should have kept Jameis Winston. We would lose
Whoa.
almost every game, but at least the press conferences after would be
fun.
hilarious.
I love Jameis. I was always on the Jameis bandwagon, and I was sad to see him go. And I was never on Team Carr. Well, I was for a little bit, but
Yeah,
I always wanted Jameis over Carr.
No, I never.
Evan can attest to that.
Yeah, he was always on Team Jameis Winston, but what I personally believe, though, I was on Team Carr too until he started throwing hospital balls to the receivers.
What really did it for me was when Carr threw it probably 10 yards out of bounds, then yelled at Chris Olave, "Why didn't you finish the route?" I'm like, brother, you threw it in the stands. What was he gonna do?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean catch the ball?
That's why I say you might as well just go after Aaron Rodgers for like a season or something. Because, I mean, it still would be...
We already have a nursing home for the NFL. Why are we going to add...
But, I mean, the thing that Aaron Rodgers said, hey, I'll play for like $10 million. Like, cheap budget. I would rather take Aaron Rodgers on a $10 million contract than paying Derek Carr what he's been getting paid right
okay, this Saints team is not contending.
now.
Like, they're not a contender.
No,
so
absolutely not.
why would Aaron Rodgers even come down here?
Why did he go to the Jets?
Because he thought he had something in his delusional mind.
Well, that's the Oscar.
And you thought he had something too.
I did. I had the clown makeup on.
You did have that comment.
You did.
I had the clown makeup on. I'm not gonna lie.
But I personally don't say going for Aaron Rodgers is the best move because we should probably tank for somebody else and find a replacement very quickly because Derek Carr is not the answer. Obviously, give him to River Parish disposal, throw him in the back of the truck, and get him out of here.
Damn.
I've heard something like Jalen Milroe, to the Saints.
I would not mind that, but his outside the pocket ability is great. I'd like to see a little bit more improvement before we go for that.
Yeah, I'm not sold on him. I'm not really sold on any prospect this season.
Yeah, we had a whole quarterback breakdown. I believe
Cam Ward's obviously going number one. That's like the worst kept secret in the league right now.
Isn't he going to Tennessee?
Yeah, Tennessee number one, 100%. If you want easy money, take that bet.
Oh yeah, but I believe though that he will be a bust though. That's me though. I believe Cam Ward's gonna be a bust.
I think he's gonna be a bust before he's good. I think he will be good, but it's one of those like Baker Mayfield kind of situations.
Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold kind of story.
He's gonna need a lot of improvement because Miami, they play good teams, but it's not all good teams.
Miami.
You know?
You mean Tennessee?
No, he went to college in Miami.
This dummy over here.
I think he's a good quarterback. I think he hasn't seen the level of play that he's going to see in the NFL, which is the case for all rookies. You need to give them time to be able to do something. Obviously, Will Levis was not the answer for them. They should have done that.
I actually thought Will Levis was the answer.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I actually believe in him.
But I do like Cam Ward because he does have great athletic ability as well as good patience in the pocket. I mean, you literally saw him just stand there with the ball in hand.
But see
looking for something.
But see that scares me because now it leaves me because as we all know, once you get into the NFL, these NFL edge rushers are actually better than what they were in college. So it leaves me to question, okay, are you good because you're actually good, or were you good because of your O-line? Because
anybody can be good if they have 40 seconds to pat. Obviously, that's an exaggeration, but
you see what I'm saying though? Because if Myles Garrett's coming after every single play,
you need to get the ball out in less than 3 seconds after it hits your hands.
Yeah, you're not gonna have time to do that little walk in the pocket.
Yeah.
So that's why I believe he's going to be a bust, especially in Tennessee with that O-line they have. Hell no. That's why I believe he's a bust. Now wherever Shador ends up, I'm gonna make we gonna do a draft day prediction.
Yeah. I think Shador's going to be a bust.
It depends on where he goes. I feel like
it does depend on where he goes.
It does, but
I think he's a better player right now than Cam Ward. But I think Cam Ward has a higher ceiling. Yeah, and he will become better than Shador.
Yeah, I think Shador's a good out of the gate. Obviously, all of them need improvement, but it's just I think Cam's Ward is better than Shador.
When is the draft, by the way? Is it next week?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
It's like on Tuesday. I think it's like the 22nd.
No, it's on Thursday.
On Thursday.
Do y'all think the Saints are going to draft Garrett Meyer like the late rounds just because?
No. He's already going back to LSU.
Yeah, he's going back to LSU.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay.
So he's already going back to LSU. So wait till next year to see where he goes.
I think he might be a backup.
No,
absolutely.
I'm not gonna say
he doesn't belong in the NFL.
See, I feel like this year was his first year that
he actually did anything.
He was actually getting used to the system, doing all that. I do believe he's gonna ball out this year though. It's just
I'm not the hugest Nussmeier guy. I don't think he's all that.
He's not gonna be a program push socks off. But if you look at his numbers, great as back.
I do believe though is that I feel like he has worked on his decision making more than anything.
Yeah, I agree.
So
there's some decisions that I can look at him and I'm
like that Alabama game.
I would rather Pee-wee quarterback.
Like that Alabama game last year.
Oh yeah, no.
That was terrible.
That was awful. Those are all mostly bad decisions.
But
in my opinion.
I'm glad we had a nice little NFL run. Now it's time for a recurring segment that we always do on this show.
Let's sing together.
Doing dumb shit And so I
Okay.
have the article on my iPad so Landon can read it.
So this lovely article is brought to you by the people at people.com. Yeah. So everyone loves ice cream, right? I mean, who doesn't love ice cream? My favorite flavor.
Chocolate chip, Rocky Road.
What about you, Evan?
I'm a chocolate guy. Like a Dutch chocolate. Like
Yeah.
it could be Dutch chocolate, cookies and cream. You know.
Yeah,
Cookies
yeah.
and cream's fire.
Mhm.
I personally I like strawberry. I'm just a strawberry kind of guy.
Oh, he's
You know.
weird. He's a weird guy.
Well, my feelings on chocolate are complicated. So it's a hate relationship
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah,
it really is.
he does not like chocolate.
It's not a love hate. It's just a hate.
It's just hate. Yeah.
Strawberry?
All right. Anyways,
Strawberry.
so
Yeah,
coming
strawberry. It's strawberry.
well coming to you with the newest flavor, the best and newest flavor on the market. We have breast milk flavored ice cream.
They went
So-
straight to the source.
Straight to the source.
They really did. You know, this is like cow's milk, everyone.
This is
Breast
human
milk.
This is coming
lactating
from Megan in the
females.
factory. Megan's in the factory is making all the breast milk. Anyways, so I mean, who doesn't love breast milk, right?
I can't say that I do.
This dude.
I personally never tried it since I've been like 2, but
It was good back then. Why is it not good now?
hey, you know, I'm open to try new things.
I don't think I would try that.
You want to try it?
No.
Evan, would you try it?
No.
What if someone paid you like $10? Would you try it?
If they paid for the ice cream and they paid me money to try it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Okay, what if they just paid for the ice cream?
No.
No.
Just to try it? Bro, come on.
You know what,
It's free ice cream.
You know what? That's like me. That's like you saying that you try Burger King Whopper if I paid for it. So
Okay,
Why
I'll
not?
try Burger King if you pay for it.
why not? I'll try it.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. You got to be optimistic at least.
I'll do it.
I see some comments, you know, on the article. One model commented in the article said she can't wait to try it. It sounds so good. Another person commented, absolutely, yes, we need this like yesterday. I mean, so you have some people.
What are the
Pretty
ethical
excited.
concerns for this, though? You're just going and milking lactating mothers?
Okay,
Like, where are you getting the milk for this to make
I-
it into ice cream?
I wouldn't imagine it's real like women making it. It's just kind of
Bro, it says
maybe
breast milk.
artificially flavored. I would think it's artificially flavored.
How are you
would
gonna
not?
artificially? What are you gonna use? Formula instead? Like this is formula ice cream. Like this is not a great idea in my opinion.
What is the market for this? Who is this gonna be marketed towards?
Not me.
Not me.
Well, I mean, what's the
Obviously
demographic
you.
Probably, if I were to take a guess, probably like younger kids, like around like maybe 2 or 3, that their parents are slowly trying to get them to get off the breast milk.
You think that's who's gonna buy it? Like the baby,
But I
buy it
think
for the babies who they're trying to get off.
like trying to because instead of like being attached to it, they could just be like, "Here comes the airplane, choo choo," you know, that type of stuff.
Okay.
No.
Oh,
this
man.
is this is straight for the people who are curious.
Now.
Okay, this is straight for the people who are
Okay.
curious about like what's the difference?
No.
Can I actually taste the difference?
No, I imagine a big market for this will be like incel male virgins. I think that's who the big market.
So Evan.
Fuck both of you.
Oh man. Okay, I want to read this one quote from the manufacturer, from the company. The ice cream will be a pitch perfect representation of the sweet, creamy, nutrient packed goodness we've all wanted to try, but have been afraid to ask. What?
Been afraid to
Been
ask.
afraid to ask.
It is a absolute
Yeah.
wild line.
Okay, and it will include some of the nutrients, including fats, carbs, important vitamins, plus lots of H2O for hydration.
So this is a dietary supplement, basically. It's like breast
I
milk
guess.
and sugar.
Yeah, for sure. and we're gonna shout out to the company who's making this. Shout out to Frida. That's Frida. If you want to get some breast milk ice cream, I guess that's gonna be in the market soon.
It's gonna be in Rouse's.
It's gonna be in Rouse's.
You just see it and be like, oh no.
You just walk into Rouse's and you just see breast milk ice cream.
Oh man. Okay. And now this guy's got a conspiracy theory. So this is the new segment we're starting. We've heard my 2 conspiracies from the last 2 episodes. The amazing conspiracies that are absolutely 100% true.
So
and now he's gonna give his conspiracy take.
So I came up with this segment, and so what I personally believe, we need a jingle. If the doing dumb shit has to have a jingle, we gotta do the conspiracy theory segment to have a jingle.
Did I come up with the doing dumb shit jingle?
You did.
Yeah. So you need to come with yours.
All right. So my conspiracy theory is, okay, we have the cure to cancer. But, like, I'm going to use the United States for example. We're saying this in our country, exactly. I believe we have the cure to cancer, but it's more profitable for pharmaceutical companies. Damn, Landon.
For the audience wondering why we're laughing, Landon just absolutely spilled half his water bottle on himself, and now it looks like he peed himself.
Good job, Landon. So, I feel like we have the cure to cancer, but I feel like it's much more profitable for pharmaceutical companies, insurance companies, and doctors to make more money treating it than curing it. That's my conspiracy. And we just hide it away.
There is money to be made treating symptoms of cancer, but I don't think there's a end-all, cure-all kind of solution. Because you got to think, there's many different types of cancer. Like, you have breast cancer, colon cancer, like tumors and mass. It's a whole bunch of stuff.
Well, I'm just saying, like, just for like one of them. I don't know which one. I do believe we do have a cure to a cancer. I don't know what cancer though. It could just be, what is it? Prostate cancer.
There is a lot of stuff going on with genetic editing and stuff like that. So that's definitely a field that to be interested in, because I'm studying medical.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a lot of money to be made, but I don't think that's solely why. Because if you look at it, some of the I guess drugs that they're using now are not necessarily new drugs. Yes, there are new drugs, but it takes time for R&D and development and all this stuff. Like there was a whole Ozempic craze for which is used for diabetes and specifically type 2. So obviously that's a newer drug, but there's been drugs that are way older than that have been around to treat diabetes. So I think there are advancements going on, but I don't think that there's necessarily a cure to cancer for all drugs.
Not
or all
cancer.
Cancers.
Yeah, I'm not saying for all cancer. I'm just saying for like maybe like one at least, because
they might be close. But
yeah, I do believe though that they have at least one. Now for every single cancer, no, because I do believe some is going to be a lot harder to cure than other ones.
Next thing you know, the FBI is watching your phones.
Yeah, I mean, just little background, like, I'm not in the medical field, so I'm not going to claim to have this, like, knowledge of the medicine, community. I'm not in that field, nor is Evan at all.
But I'm going to tell you...
He's like a low-level cook, everyone.
Damn, way to just put me on blast, bro. Anyway, so... here's why I came up with this, okay? Because for some reason, it hit me because I was watching Family Guy. Okay, this is before you're like, Evan, you got this off of Family Guy. It's crazy. So, I was watching Family Guy, and one of the episodes was that Lois's dad, the rich guy, he had the cure for cancer, like all types of cancer. But he said it in the way that I said it, that pharmaceutical companies, insurance companies, and all doctors make more money treating it than they do curing it. So that's why they do what they do. And Brian was trying to tell him, that's unethical. But Lois's dad was, that's how the world works. So that's why I genuinely thought about that, because
nothing is fully ethical in the world.
Huh?
So, I said nothing's fully ethical.
Nothing's fully ethical, but as in like the human standpoint, that's what he was talking about. Because instead of just releasing this to the public and everybody getting cured of cancer, you want to be greedy and hog it for yourself and make more money off of treating it. That's practically what he was trying to say. But I mean, if you find the cure to cancer, I mean, if you personally find the cure to cancer, like you yourself, you could do whatever you want with it. You can hide it. You can make money off of it.
You can sell it to a company and then they never use it to keep their drugs going.
Mm-hmm. Like, that's why I say we probably do have like one for a type of cancer. Like, just like one. I don't think we have one for all, just completely all, because like I said, one may be harder to solve than the other.
Yeah, and cancer has a lot of complexities as well.
Mm-hmm.
You have to realize that, because there's a lot of stuff going on with drug companies and patents and all that. So, and obviously everything has to go through the FDA. That's who monitors all drugs and stuff like that. So, all these cancers have to be approved in some way, right? So, or the cancer treatments need to be approved in some way. So, that testing can be a very lengthy process, which is why everybody finds out about it. Ozempic, because I don't know necessarily when the drug was made or found or created or whatever it was, but the process for that is very lengthy and complex. So you have to think a lot about of what goes into all this. You can't just be like, I think there is, because anybody can think what they want, but you have to have proof to back it up.
Yeah, I kind of lost respect for your conspiracy theory when you said you got a Family Guy.
Well,
like, maybe don't bring that up.
Well,
but okay,
but
there. I mean,
but you see what I mean though. But like, you kind of get what I'm talking about though. Like I'm saying it is dumb that I got it off of Family Guy. I'm not gonna lie, but it's still
maybe you just shouldn't have brought that up.
Well, no, it's just something to think about though, because you don't know. Okay, hold on. No. You ain't finna dog on me, Mr. Birds aren't real. Okay?
Okay, this is a new conspiracy theory coming today.
Yeah, but this is actually something that is actually somewhat interesting to talk about, not if birds are real or not.
Okay, I'll say this. There is actually a lot of truth that can be found in cartoons. And cartoons can actually be pretty deep. And, okay,
What are y'all
so...
talking about right now?
So to give you a nice little run back of the story, his very first conspiracy theory was...
This is 2 episodes ago? I think?
This was like 3.
3 episodes ago.
Bro's like, have you ever seen a baby pigeon? Either of they're drones.
Exactly. Well, that's
No.
what we saying, dog.
No, dude.
Yeah, he thinks that birds are created by the government to spy on us. So, which is very dumb. But
Okay. You bring up this conspiracy theory about cancer, and this is what I have to say. It's not a fun conspiracy theory. Like, we want to do fun conspiracy theories. Like, if it's actually true, and the government's hiding, that's depressing.
Well,
I seriously, that makes me depressed.
You have to also think, it's not just the USA, because many of these drug companies are nationwide, right? So, or whatever it is. But if there's no treatment for it in, I don't know, the UK or Japan or whatever it is, then it's not here. Because, I mean, if it's just the government hiding it, then why isn't it anywhere else?
Or like something even worse, like this like secret organization working like intergovernmental.
Yeah, like we just genuinely don't know. But
Like
but I'm not gonna lie to you. I also did just come up with this on the fly, but I was thinking about it because whenever I like first saw it, I said, that's kind of crazy that they would think that. But then I started going in a bit deeper because we don't know what other countries could be doing. Other countries could be going beyond those experimental lines and be testing it on humans. But then at the same time, though, they could want to hide it for themselves. So that's why I personally believe. I mean, it doesn't even have to be cancer in this. It could just be any type of illness.
Type of disease or
illness. Like, it could just be like any.
Well, there are drugs to cure diseases. They use them as drugs.
Yeah.
I mean, most of them are published to the public.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if there's a cure for it, it's probably going to be in some kind of drug form. Like chemo is technically, I mean, there's many things that make up a chemo drug, but
very small grain of cancer.
yeah,
in chemo.
but there's different combinations and stuff to treat certain type of cancers, especially at different stages and stuff like that.
But I'm just saying, like, just like disease, like cancer, whatever, as like just like the subject of it, to where, you know, what if a country is hiding, or what if a company is hiding? You get what I'm saying?
I don't think right now they are, because I feel like if there was something like that, then obviously, yeah, companies are gonna lose money. But you know how much drug companies make like per year? It's ridiculous amounts.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous amounts.
But I do believe though that, like from what we've seen with COVID, how everyone, if everyone, let's just say, had an illness automatically already, everyone's going to be on their ass to work on it, as we've seen with COVID. So I do believe though, could there be like a small little group out there that probably has it, that is hiding away from the public? It's a possibility. Absolutely a possibility, because you don't know, anything's possible. But do I believe that as of right now, is there a cure to like a cancer? My opinion, no. Because, I mean,
You know, I love how it changes his opinion from yes to no.
Yeah, for real. You caught that too?
Yeah, it changes
You
his
caught
opinion
that
from
too.
yes to
Whoa.
from yes to no.
well,
You like Stephen A. Smith, bro.
no. Well, no.
I am Shannon Sharp.
Look, okay. Well, look, Shannon. Okay, I'm not saying. I wasn't saying no that there is that the government
You're
is having
talking
something.
in circles, bro.
No, I'm about to explain. Let me cook, okay? Or let me cook my point at least.
Let
Look.
a squirrel bring Pam sack.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So,
And you got two people dissing you tonight, dog.
well, he already said he was getting his get back from last episode, so
Mhm.
he already told me that. So, but but I'm just saying, I just came up with this one off of Family Guy and off of what I've personally been thinking. So, will there be a lot more fun conspiracy next episode? Yeah.
That was a little more serious.
Yeah, it was more serious, like kind of depressing. Like I said earlier, like if it's actually true, it's very depressing.
Yeah.
But
And I look to it like I'm gonna trust the medical community more than some dude who doesn't know what he's talking about, aka Evan.
well,
He just saw it in a Family Guy episode. Oh, must be true. It's on Family Guy.
but you gotta also believe, but you also gotta think. Like I said, we don't know what these other countries could be doing. Like, we don't know what North Korea's doing right now. North Korea could be testing
I know
human
what
trials.
North Korea's doing. They're not curing cancer, buddy.
Well, oh my bad, mister. I went to South Korea.
On the topic of conspiracy theories, I'll say this. It is bad to blindly accept everything, but it's also bad to blindly accept nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And you get caught, like, I see people who are like so conspiracy theory based and they'll act like, oh, everybody's, all the government's so bad and all these companies are out to, rip people off and everything. You can get caught up in that.
Yeah.
It's not a good thing.
But-
But it's also bad to get caught up in, believing every single thing. Because there were, like, things that the government has proven to be hiding. Like the JFK files that just got released.
Yeah.
Well, I also think that anything medical, all medical professionals take some kind of oath, right?
Yes.
And I pulled it up real quick, and the basis of it is to better society, right? It's a foundational oath in the medical community outlining ethical principles and guidelines for physicians and other doctors, and emphasizes patient well-being, confidentiality, and respect for life. So, anything to deal with the betterment of a person
Yeah.
should be public knowledge,
Yes.
Yeah.
or at least being tested to become public knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because most cancer patients are given very short life expectancies, especially ones with advanced cancer that they don't find early. Now, granted, some cancer is treatable. There's some people that go in remission and are able to resolve the cancer that they have, but there are some that do go into some experimental trials and human trials just to have some semblance of chance. So I'm not saying that there isn't one being worked on necessarily, but I don't think there's one FDA approved and
Like already sold out to the public type stuff.
yeah, there's not one that's readily available that is proven to work that is just being hidden.
Yeah.
You know, because that goes against basically everything the medical community stands for.
I'm glad we have a guest we brought on that's kind of in the medical side because I can't speak on that. My field is transportation engineering.
That's also kind of why I was gonna pick something else, but then I said, oh well, Hunter's studying to be a pharmacist, so I mean, why not continue on with this topic? But
I know a lot about drugs.
But then I also thought,
not in that way, guys. Not in that way.
But also in my own little mind that I'm also tinkering right now. What's also stopping like one of these big companies, like let's just say Johnson & Johnson, for an example. I'm just for like I don't know what other big companies.
Pfizer, Eli Lilly, all that.
Yeah, well, Pfizer's the one that came to mind for me.
I was saying Johnson & Johnson.
Like Pfizer's the biggest company medical.
Well, Pfizer and Eli Lilly are probably two of the bigger quote-unquote giants.
Well, I'm gonna say Johnson & Johnson for an example. Okay, what's stopping Johnson & Johnson from hiring a bunch of scientists to come up with this and then keep it for themselves?
I think that kind of brings it back to the point that Hunter just brought up about the medical oath.
I mean, it is an oath that many medical professionals take, but
but like
who's to say they're not being disregarding that oath for a bag?
That's what I'm trying to get at because
I understand your point, but I think many people that take that oath take it very seriously and take it lightly.
Yeah. I'm not discrediting any doctors or anything. So, but I'm also just saying I'm just putting that like what if out there. So, I'm just giving them something to think about because do I personally believe that we do have a cure for cancer? No, not at the right moment. Do I believe that we're close to being done on one?
We can be.
I feel like we can be. I don't know what the progress on it would be.
I feel like it's being worked on, but it's not solved.
Yeah. So.
Which nobody knows when it's going to be solved because they've been working on it for years.
And then not only that, cancer's like
years.
Cancers fucking multiply, like develop in different stages.
Well, that's why they have radiation and stuff like that. I mean, they did come up with radiation. They found that works. They did come up with just the idea of there's cancer right there, remove it. You know, that's why they have surgeries and stuff. That's why they do chemo that shrinks the tumor to a manageable size. So, I mean, there is stuff to get rid of cancer, but I don't think there's just a drug that's just going to go in and without causing bodily harm to just go in and just destroy it all.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. That's just something I wanted to just put out there. But we're not gonna have happy conspiracy theories all the time, Landon. Yeah.
Oh, come on! It's fun to like fun conspiracy.
We will go back to a fun conspiracy. I'm gonna go back and forth with it. We will have a fun conspiracy theory next episode. Well, next episode that me and you do a podcast because.
Do you want to pick the next conspiracy theory, or do you want me to?
Let's both pick a theory,
okay, and
we could choose where to go from there.
There you go.
But that's just something I wanted to bring to the table because also Hunter's here. He's also studying.
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, I'm glad we have someone in the medical field that can speak. You know, I feel like he brings more insight than either of me or Evan can bring because we're not in that field. So, yeah, thanks for sharing your insight on this.
Shout out for using your big ass brain of yours. So, all right. So the next question, okay, or not question, next topic, okay. So we got 3 more things left. So this is for you, buddy. Since you're the devil on the left side of my shoulder, okay. What dating advice would you either give to me?
Or anybody that's in your position,
or any other single men. Yes.
I would like to start off with I love my girlfriend very dearly, and she'd probably hit me if I said anything wrong.
Well, we've already.
Didn't we do a whole podcast about this last episode?
We did, but.
Are we really going back to this?
Well,
I mean, I think it is an important topic because there are many people struggling and that are in Evansville. He's not the only one, you know. There are people that are struggling with this, and there are people that haven't found their quote-unquote person yet. But what I would say to anybody that is in Evan's position is it's well. I'd like to say this. If Evan said, "I am the quote unquote whore on his shoulder." Okay.
I mean,
but I guess he and I have a very different definition of what you can do. So my point to Evan that I'm trying to get across is go out and meet people. Okay? If you can go have a conversation with somebody and build some kind of relationship, that can go into something better. Okay? Now, if that ever so happens to be just a hookup or a one night stand or whatever, or messing around or friends with benefits, that's fine. But you know what that can also bring? It could bring on to a relationship. Let's say you really do like that person, okay? Let's say you meet this girl, you go on a few dates, you have a great time, and then she says, you know what, I don't feel the same about you. You know what, that's fine. But you can still have other options before you're committed. Like, there's no reason for you to only be talking to female A when you can be talking to female A, female B, and female C. And let's say you really do like female A, and let's say you do get in a relationship, you drop B and C. What I'm not saying is you go and like you're in a relationship with female A and then you're still looking for B and C. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is until you are in a committed relationship with that person, you're going to commit yourself, there's no reason for you to just limit yourself to one person. Okay? Now, with that being said, let's say female A drops you, you now have B and C to fall back on. So you're still working to find your person, but until you're in a committed relationship, you really don't, quote unquote, owe them nothing because you really don't think female A isn't talking to guy A, guy B, and guy C, and you're guy C.
yeah.
You really don't think that's happening?
That's a good point.
So my point is, if you go meet a person and it happens to go in a relationship, let's say it lasts a month, okay, then you start back over. If it lasts a year, great. If that happens to be a many-year thing and y'all get married and that's your one or whatever, that's also great. I'm glad you found that. But there's no reason for you to be limiting yourself when you're not in a committed relationship and you're just going for female A when you can have other options. That's my point.
Yeah, because
And Evan calls that hoeing out.
no.
That's like your favorite quote there, isn't it?
No. Because look. I would just like to say,
Granted, not many people are skilled enough. Let's go with that.
Skilled enough
To have
yeah.
A, B, C, and D. They might have like A and B or A or just A. You know, which that there's nothing wrong with that. But if you have that option until you're in a committed relationship, why not explore more? Go out with your friends, talk to people, build relationships, do all that.
because here's why I decided to bring this up. One, okay, after everything you said, Lauren, he loves you. Just ignore all of that.
Do you think she's gonna listen to this?
She does. If I'm honest, she will.
Really?
So yeah, he loves you very
I
much.
feel like our audience is very male oriented. Probably, I would have
So-
to guess.
She listened to the last episode when I said Evan called me a whore.
Really? She listened to that?
Yes, we got a viewer. Let's go. So
We have at least one viewer.
we have one, but
I had to listen to it too, guys.
Well, we have two.
let's go.
Y'all
But-
probably rewatch it. That's
but-
4. That's 4.
But then he also was given a shit last time because he was like, these motherfuckers over here talking about peace and love and shit. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like, okay. Listen. If girls like it when you're not really that interested in them. If you're gonna pour your entire like time into talking to them, then it's like he's too pushy. He's too this. He's too that, and that like is like a gosh, I'm gonna use this term. It's an ick for them. You
Yeah.
know, like that's something they don't like. Because if let's say she Snapchats you and you immediately reply, she's gonna be like, you know, like that's not a thing that they're looking for apparently. Granted, you think it's like, oh, I'm being attentive, I'm doing something good, but in reality, that's not the way the world works with dating now. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. But also wanted to bring Hunter on for that because one, we're having him on for next week. We're gonna have a little debate next week with that. But
I think any viewers that are watching would agree
Well,
with
listening. They're not good, but watching.
Watching, viewing, listening, whatever it is.
But like I brought Hunter on because I've been telling him everything that's been going on with me for the past couple months. He just helped me. What was it? Monday. Helped me set up my Tinder and Hinge again.
Yeah.
There's
nothing.
You showed me your account before.
That was a long time.
He deleted it with his most recent situationship because she kind of did him dirty. I'm not even gonna lie.
You showed me Tinder like 2 weeks ago when we last recorded.
But then I deleted
it since then.
I deleted it because.
Bro thought he found the one.
Well, no, I didn't. Well, no, it's not even that. No. Here's the thing with that recent situation, okay? I was
workplace dating. Workplace dating is absolutely wild. I've never heard
that.
People that workplace dating, they went from coworkers to friends to going out on a date, back to friends, back to coworkers.
See,
the regression.
See,
we're really airing out all of Evan's past in the podcast.
Yeah,
like, that's what this podcast has become.
We're not giving any names. We're not doing any of that. But there's probably people that have had similar situations. But putting it out there that it's not only them, and there's ways you can get back on the horse.
But see, my thing with that though was that my most recent thing. She was the most fun I ever had. I'm not gonna lie.
Rephrase that.
Not like that. Not like that.
Rephrase that.
As in just having fun in general. Just like going out and doing stuff. Just go do something. We had a great time.
Yeah. But
as in the way it went about, I will say this: too many people were involved in that. I 1000% agree.
It was a little messy.
Too many people were involved with that. But then again, though,
all in the workplace because it was workplace dating.
but here's the thing, though. Here was some of the stuff that was getting me with that, and like one of the things she told me was, yeah, it was no fun anymore. Well, because she said, well, because everyone knows. Well. I mean,
I think she chased the secret of it, like the whole secretive thing, because that's what a lot of, like, the whole, are they dating, are they not, the whole mystery is like super intriguing to girls, which I don't really get, but I think she liked mystery more than
but here's the thing. No. Here's the thing, though. She told everybody. I didn't tell a single soul inside of that place. Yeah.
How in the world?
Bro.
She messed up she messed it up by herself. God damn.
But
if that is the case.
But and then she was telling me, she was like, yeah, all the stuff in like it was only like proximity dating or workplace dating. But she was like, I want to go back to being coworker. But at the same time, though, how I felt with that was that, okay, you want me to stop being me practically. That's just me. Because I'm still going to be Evan even outside of the workplace. I'm still going to joke around, do all that outside of the workplace. So you saying, hey, let's be coworkers again, you are being very confusing. So
sounds like the only cooking Evan was doing was in the kitchen and not on that date.
It wasn't even a date. That was the part that confused me, because
Bro brought her flowers. Did you know that? Bro brought her flowers.
But here's the thing.
I call that a date.
But here's the thing, though. Okay, it got turned into a date. But here's the thing, though. We both agreed, because I let her dictate what it was, and so. I said, hey, because she asked me, hey, is this a date or is this a hangout, friends hanging out? I said it's whatever you want it to be. And so she determined that. But then all the stuff I was hearing was, oh, you did something on this date. But and I had to correct people. I said, one, it wasn't even a date. She told me even before we even went on it that it wasn't a date. So it was just too many stipulations that were getting changed. Do I still have love for her as like a friend or whatever it may be? Yeah, of course. I'm not a heartless person to just cut someone off completely, but it messed with my emotions so much because at first I wasn't going for it, and then I got attached, and then this, and then that. It was just too much.
It was a flip flop, and you got confused, and then that confusion led into something.
Her confusion led to my confusion, and then it just got into confusion even more.
Yeah, that just sounds like a messy situation right there, brother.
But in my opinion, though, I felt like how would you describe it? You know how explain your point of view.
I feel like you got attached.
I did get attached. I
attached too quick.
Not even too quick, because we were.
They were talking for a good while.
We were talking.
So I could understand the attachment, but it goes back to what I said before. You really shouldn't get attached until something sets up.
But it wasn't even me though, because at first, like I told my friend that I told, because whenever I first started like joking around with her and stuff, I told him automatically I said I would not get attached. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. No. And then we started hanging out. Then it just turned into fuck.
It turned into what now?
It turned into
okay.
Yeah,
It turned into what?
it turned into Evan getting attached. I know what he's saying. It's just
Like,
I don't agree with what he did.
I mean,
But sometimes you can't control it.
but I couldn't control it. But at the same time, though, I mean, you can't just. I had some blame in that too, but you can't. I can't be the only one to be blaming in that situation. You've heard it all. You can't.
That's why I'm telling you, go out and meet new people, do whatever you want, brother. It's not that big of a deal.
I know it's not that big of a deal, but that's why I'm still.
Granted, don't like go and be like anything with a pulse. Let me,
No, definitely don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. I'm not saying go do that. I'm saying go talk to people. If you like them, they like you. Go out on a few dates. Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, but in that scenario, it was just messy for every single one. But I felt like you played cards that were just an excuse to me.
She played cards that were confusing you. I get it.
Like,
I've been in situations like that.
Well, not even just confusing me. It was just.
Feel free to step in, Lyman.
Yeah, feel free.
I mean, in all transparency, I am not completely filled in the whole situation.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. He's
From what you heard, though, do you like understand my advice to Evan?
I heard your advice and I agree with some of it, but in another sense, I completely disagree with it. Like,
So explain.
I'm on the standpoint, and I think I explained this last episode, the whole men's and the dating episode we did last time. Shout out to anyone who actually listened to that episode, like Hunter over here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was saying to Evan, look, you need to work on yourself. Stop being addicted to these females.
Well,
Like,
no,
get
no,
like
no.
a visor, bro. You need to work
I
on
don't
yourself.
think-
You
I-
can't be in this mentality like I want to chase women, like go after every woman I see.
I agree with that, but I also don't think Evan is like needs a girlfriend. I think he's pursuing it for the right reasons, though. You know what I mean? Like I think Evan is comfortable with himself to where he doesn't need to work on himself, like you're saying, and like have that visor. I think he's able to go out and talk to people and do what I was saying, and maybe something leads into a relationship, something doesn't. But I'm not saying go out and like dedicate your life to chasing women. But what I'm not saying is just like be a hobbit. And
I don't know, the whole roster standpoint, that kind of sounds like chasing women to me.
really, it's not, because you're doing what you need to do, but the free time that you have, like let's say you're watching Netflix, you can go talk to girl A and girl B while you're watching Netflix. Because you're not doing anything. If you're playing Xbox right now, you're not bettering yourself by playing, I don't know, COD or League or whatever you're playing.
See, I'm gonna tell you his practical life lesson summed up in one little lesson. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's practically what he's saying. Because And I've heard this advice so many times. That's why I try to branch out. But this latest one, I got attached, which is my fault. Could I have done what Hunter said and just, messed around with other chicks, fucked around with other chicks? Yeah. But at the same time,
That probably wouldn't have gotten you attached either.
yeah, it wouldn't have gotten me attached. But at the same time, though, it's weird for me because I'm at the stage of my life right now where I don't really care about it. I just let it come naturally. I'm just let it come naturally.
Yeah, but you still gotta
I-
put
I-
yourself out
I-
there
I-
for
yeah.
it to come to you. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, yeah, but still, I'm just saying, like, as in, I'm still gonna do that, but as in getting her or not, I'm still gonna let it come naturally. I mean, I'm happy that you literally. I was proud when you just said those words, like a couple minutes ago, with how I'm comfortable with myself. I was proud of that. Thank you, Hunter. But
Like I feel like you have a good semblance of who you are and what you want in your life and who you are as a person. So I don't really think there's any quote unquote room for him to work on or improve or whatever you might call it. But I'm not saying to not put yourself out there. But I'm saying to put yourself out there. Don't let it distract you from what you're doing now to better yourself. But any free time that you would be goofing off, doing whatever, you could use that to put yourself out there and maybe work towards something.
yeah,
It's
But-
time delegation,
but
basically.
like in any talking stage, could I have just gone and like fuck this chick? Absolutely, I could have. But at the same time, though, I've been trying to do the good old moral value role, be a good guy, buy the girl flowers, take her out on a nice date, But
I don't give girls flowers on the first date.
Not our first date. That's kind of.
I didn't come up with the idea first. She told someone, and so
Oh, you got the inside scoop. That's what you got.
the-
The inside scoop.
this someone told me, she was like, hey, like, are you ready for the night? And I'm trying to play it low key. I'm like, no, I have no idea what you're talking about. But then she was like, yeah, you're doing something tonight. I was like, well, fuck, already. So,
Okay, first of all, don't ever get a girl flowers on the first date. That's pretty wild.
well, I regretted it when I bought them because then it was like, oh shit. But no. But the thing was though that made me regret the whole thing was where I took her to. I took her.
He took her to Tsunami, which is that place in Bihar, that sushi place.
Yeah, I like to.
That's a very romantic.
Yeah.
That's a very romantic
Bruh.
place.
But
I don't say necessarily romantic, but more high end. Not necessarily.
well,
you're together at a table on a rooftop sushi place.
it's late at night too.
And
Okay.
it's late at night.
Looking over the
So,
Mississippi River.
Yeah, I feel like
That-
that's a little bit it's not like full romantic, but it's a little too romantic for a first date.
I disagree with your decision
So,
on that one.
but here's the thing though. She was trying out different sushi spots, and so I told her, I said,
and you decided to take her to the most expensive
I did-
one in Louisiana.
it wasn't that expensive either, but I didn't pay for it. I didn't pay for my end though, because she automatically was like, split the bill. I was like, okay, that's cool. Whatever you want to do, I'll pay for my bill. That's cool.
As soon as you heard split the bill, you knew it was over.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, but I mean, I still didn't care because I still wanted to treat her as a friend. I still have love for her in my heart, as a whatever it may be. But at the end of the day, though,
She watches this podcast, wants to go back.
no.
Okay, I want to go back to a point I think both of you kind of touched on. I know Evan definitely have touched on it, like the idea of playing games. If you feel the need to play games, or the other person's playing games, that's a sign of like definite immaturity. Like real people, real adults, they don't play games. And if you're playing games, then you're not like actually ready for serious dating.
Because, like I told Hunter that, like she told everyone,
I don't think what I said though was playing games though.
no.
I mean playing hard to get, all that. I mean, I can get that from that standpoint, but I don't think what I said was playing games with somebody necessarily.
It's not, because
I think the whole idea of playing hard to get is kind of like playing games. Like a person who's like seriously putting themselves out there for days can be straight up.
like I understand what you're saying. Like you're giving them hope. Like you could still possibly end up with them, but in reality, you can just be like, nah.
Yeah, he's talking from experience.
Wow.
You really thought I was gonna come on here and knock you and shit.
Wow. That's. I was not expecting that line, but
I mean, that's like the theme of this podcast. We have to give each other shit.
yeah, but I see what you're saying though. Like even still playing hard to get, you're still playing a game.
Yeah,
like,
you're
with
still
them,
playing a
because
game.
you're giving them hope in the end that you could still possibly be with them, but then you
Or
over here-
the exact opposite, like being like 100% like, I don't know, what would be the opposite of hard to get?
Being easy.
Yeah, being easy.
A girl
That's
walks up
another
to you,
game.
it's like, you're coming to my apartment after, or whatever. You're coming back with me.
Yeah, that's another game to play.
That's not a game. That's just
It's dangerous.
that's a almost guaranteed STD. That's what that is.
But see,
The game is which one are you gonna get?
Oh, come on.
but
Oh,
see,
man.
here's the thing with me. Okay, like I said last episode, I've gotten to the point in like dating and doing all this. Just be honest with me. If you're like, hey Evan, I've lost interest with you. I'm seeing another guy. Okay, that's cool. Hey Evan, I just don't like you anymore. Okay, that's cool, because I've been rejected so many times to the point where I'm gonna do what Hunter said.
Okay, Peyton.
You son of a bitch! You son of a bitch! I'm gonna have to kill you. I'm killing
That
you.
just triggered him
No.
They triggered him so hard.
The extra spicy pod does not condone violence
Yes.
in any way, shape, or form.
I'm gonna get you next. Don't worry. Anyway, so no.
Wow, what did I do?
Shut up.
No. Wait, okay, now I'm on Hunter's side.
You were already on Hunter's side, so shut up. So,
I was, but that's not the point.
but no. But here's the thing, though. I'm cool with it though, because at the end of the day, I'm still gonna live my life, do the amazing experiences I do.
Mm-hmm.
That's me, okay. But just be honest, like Landon said, leading towards this point. That's just immaturity at that point. If you just don't like me, or you're seeing another dude, just let me know, because then I'm gonna just move on with my life. Because if you just keep dragging on my attention and time, then I hate that. Because
It's just messing with your emotions.
yeah,
It's not real.
I think back to the point I kind of talked about a while ago. The fact that, you're talking about this all the time and it seems to kind of get to you. I think that is like to a point where you need to like take a break from, dating or like attempting to date in your case, I guess.
well,
Because it's seeming to get to you and you can't like allow things like this to get to you.
it's not getting to me. But here, I'm gonna say it's not getting to me, but it's not. It is, but I'm gonna tell you why though. I'm explaining. As in like the dating aspect, it's not getting to me because. I mean, we both have shut the door on it, in my opinion. I feel, I don't know. It's like a toss up in the air. It's whatever she wants to do. Now, if she wants to be my friend, that's cool with me. I'm cool with being friends. I'm cool with whatever she wants to do. It's her decision in the end. But at the same time, though, like I said, don't just drag on my emotions. Like Hunter said, the regression was crazy. When you said that, like, because I'm going to use you for example, okay? You talk to this chick, okay? Okay, we're going to be friends, we're going to dibble-dabble, but then we're going to go back to being friends, okay? You're going to get caught up in
Actually,
something.
it's worse than that. Honestly, imagine there's a girl in a friend group that you're in, okay? And y'all aren't friends, but y'all are acquaintances, okay? Like y'all see each other in the friend group in social situations, but y'all aren't friends. And then let's say y'all become friends, and then y'all decide to start dating, and then you realize that's not for y'all. Then y'all are still friends, but then stuff slowly dies off. And now you're just back to acquaintances. Basically, that's Evan's case.
Yeah, and it's crazy to me because like you said earlier, it's practically like giving a false hope, which is like crazy though, because like I told myself in the very beginning, I told myself I would not catch feelings, I would not do this, I would do that, not do that. But when I actually got to get to know her and do all this amazing stuff, it was just like, oh fuck, she's amazing, she's this, she's that, she's this. Well then,
Got you thinking.
yeah, it gets you thinking. And so,
I understand. I understand where you're going. That's why I gave you my advice.
and so, that's why I'm still contemplating what I really want to do. I still want to be this good guy at the end of the day, you know.
I mean,
the guy that still does
don't be a
douche. Yeah, don't be a douche, but
yeah, don't be an a-hole, right?
Yeah.
Be respectful, be kind, but at the same time, there's no reason anything I said isn't considered being a douche or an a-hole or whatever it is. But whatever terms you want to use, but what I said is not considered being that, because you're doing what's best for you.
yeah,
Do what's best for you. Follow what you want. If you have a goal, achieve it. Don't lose yourself. There you
because
go. That's the premise.
yeah,
That's the premise.
because in my opinion, I believe it's whatever makes you happy in the long run. If you believe that you're going to be happy with this person, then go for it. I support. I try to be positive sometimes.
There
So
you go. That positivity changes your whole world.
yeah, you need to be positive. Anyway, so
I'm always positive. Come on.
but that still leaves me in a debacle, because at the same time though,
A what?
debacle,
It's a debacle.
debacle.
What? I didn't know what you said.
But
I was like, it's a new term.
it still can.
Evan vocabulary.
Oh my gosh! But that's and this is leading me to a point where, what do I want to do next? Do I still want to be who I am? I mean, I'm not going to change who I am.
Yeah, don't change yourself.
But
Basically, you're wondering, do I take a break or do I get back out there?
well, not even that. It's just, do I still be this nice guy, do the nice guy approach type thing, or
I mean, don't be mean, but don't be overly nice.
or do I whore around? Do I whore
you
around?
not being
It's
your
not
natural self is
going
playing
around.
games.
It's not hoeing around, bro.
Well,
It's exploring options. It's different. Hoeing around means you go to the bar, you just go home with anything that will. You know, that's hoeing around.
yeah.
Okay? What I'm saying is, go talk to people, be nice, be respectful, do what you want. At the end of the day, it's your decision.
Yeah.
But try and
But that
get to a point.
But damn, I'm not gonna lie to you. The whore on my shoulder actually gave me some good advice today. It's usually the other way around, but
Brother, my advice isn't bad.
it's not bad.
It's
But
not bad. It's just everybody's like, oh, that's considered this, that's considered that.
but
It's not. If you do it in a good way, it's not bad. There are people who do it in bad ways, and that's why it gets like, quote unquote bad rep. But if you do it in a respectful manner, nobody's gonna get mad at you for that.
But that's why I'm still on the fence of what do I want to do. But at the end of that last situation, it's whatever she wants to do. I don't really care. I'm over here. I'm still gonna.
I say move on from that, because that could happen again, and that's gonna put you in a worse spot.
Yeah.
If it didn't happen before, it's not gonna happen now.
But like I said, it's up to her, because I don't have any hard feelings towards anybody. I'm still a good guy at the end of the day. But
Okay, yeah, and I guess sort of wrapping up, I feel like we've been on this topic. We kind of beat it with a dead horse,
Yeah.
whatever the saying is.
I just need to share my opinion on it.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
guys.
No, you're fine. I'm completely like.
I needed
please
to back.
share.
I needed to back my point up because I felt like it wasn't given correctly.
yeah.
Yeah,
And then
please share.
And then he also wanted to come on here to defend me about that stuff. I'm like,
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna defend you for going out afterwards and doing whatever, but I mean, it's not a bad thing that you're doing as long as you're doing it in a good way. As long as you have an intention at heart that isn't messing with people and doing all kind of other bad stuff, then yeah, I don't see any reason why you can't go and do what I said.
yeah, because like I said, there's too many people involved. Like I was hearing some stuff, but I felt like where I went wrong was I gave her too much trust. I should have given her as much trust as she gave me, because I felt like she didn't give me any trust.
You said, "Here's Evan's heart," and then she was fine and cursed on it.
But that's how I felt though. Like I gave her too much trust. She gave me little trust. That's where I felt like we did whatever. But
Yeah.
it is time to move on.
All
though.
right, well, I do want to kind of touch on this. Like, the fact that you're sharing, like, I feel like there's this stigma, like, among the male community, like, we can't talk about this stuff. You know?
can.
We can.
I feel like there's a stigma about it.
If you talk about it in a good way, in a supportive way, then I think it's fine. But as soon as you start like dissing people about it, then I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a stigma in that people may be timid to like share their actual like feelings or experiences, what's on their heart. There's a stigma around it that's kind of pushed by this.
I kind of see it.
You see
That's very much I believe like an older generation kind of topic where you kind of like bottle everything in. Granted, I mean, I'll share some stuff, nothing that's like too personal to me, but like I'll share dating experiences and stuff like that. Like I've had similar situations, Evan. I'm not gonna go and share it, but I know what he's talking about. I'm able to relate, but I'm using what I learned in a supportive way
to
help
guide
him.
me.
Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna go and quote unquote like dump all of what happened to me on Evan because honestly that's not necessary.
That's trauma dumping. That's terrible.
Basically, and I think the main point about this is to just use what you have that has happened to you and help others, but I believe that the quote-unquote older generation that said all this was a very misconstrued idea, right? Because I think what they did was they didn't share everything, which I didn't share everything that happened to me with Evan, but they still were able to understand the point. And I believe you can go to it with your closest friends, just don't go and share this to like the public and everybody you see. Because I mean, Evan's not doing that. He shared it to me personally, and then we're using his example for a podcast to talk to other people that might have gone through something similar. So we're using the same preference of using our life experiences to try and help somebody, but we're not going in great detail about our emotions on it, but we're relating to others.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like I said, we're not putting her on blast, which, like I said, she could just be confused. She may not just know what she wants. She could just wants to be friends. Like we're not putting her on.
If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
I mean, like I said, it's whatever she wants. But I've also told her, in the end though, I'm not gonna chase after someone that's not gonna chase after me, because like I said last episode, I want two people working together. I don't want just the one carrying the whole thing. But all right, final two topics. One of them's Hunter's story. I got to take a phone call real quick.
Oh boy.
Would you rather fight the one big 300-pound guy with muscle or fight three dudes at once? The 300-pound guy being big as shit, the three dudes being Hunter size. Y'all can talk about that.
Okay. To reference Hunter size.
Right.
Right. I guess go with like average male, not like 6 foot something, but not like 5'2". You know. Like average male in your ideal head, you know. Mm-hmm. I personally, I feel like that'd be too much for me to fight three guys my stature. I'd probably just go with the one big dude. That way I can have all my attention on what he's doing. Because if I'm ducking one punch from a guy my size trying to get away from it, I might be getting clocked. Because they're all coming at you at the same time. Because I feel like it's a lot harder to focus with 3-on-1 rather than 1-on-1. So I feel like the big guy is just easier, and I mean he can slip up and whatever, and you can take advantage of that. But you might get a little beat up.
I mean, work smarter, not harder. Know where the pressure points are with the big dude, right?
Right.
I mean, personally, like I would choose not to fight.
I mean, obviously, yeah. That's the main goal. Don't go get yourself into a fight because of this. But I feel like if you were to like pick like door number 1 or door number 2 kind of thing, like you got to go through, I'd pick the bigger dude.
I think how the question was posed like the first time we did this topic was, would you pick the like 300 dude, 6'6", 300 dude versus 3 of you? Like 3 like identical clones of you. I think that's how it was posed the first time. And the premise being like, you would kind of know like your strengths and your own weaknesses.
No, it's 3 random guys of average stature.
Yeah.
3 random guys of average stature, one just freak of nature.
I mean, I don't personally like my chances either way.
Yeah, no. Your chances aren't great either
Right.
way, but I think there is a way you can walk out a lot versus a 300-pound guy versus 3 average people. Because, I mean, there's a lot for you to focus on. Granted, you can probably focus on 1 and 2, but what the hell is 3 doing, you know?
I mean, yeah.
You
I mean,
know?
I would take the 300-pound guy. Know your pressure points, and
No,
hopefully you're smarter than him. So you
Look
can,
for a window of opportunity kind of thing.
yeah, or just like be faster, right?
Mm-hmm.
Run
Right,
away.
right.
Run
Be
away.
I mean, granted, that's probably not the best option either because he's 6'6", probably catch up to you fast.
Well, 300 pounds, like.
Is that like a muscle? I think it's a muscle. I think that's what. Evan
Well, I
told
guess
me.
the question, it wasn't specified in the question, so I'm gonna go with fat. You know, to
Okay,
make my
well,
odds
yeah.
better. To make
the
my odds better.
right?
Right.
Oh man.
Okay. So let's wrap it up with the last topic. You want to share your
man.
story?
Yeah. So I like to play this game called Who's Who. Granted, y'all don't know who any of these people are, but I get a situation to land in, and it's quite a funny story anyway. So the night before, my buddy invited me to a masquerade / Mardi Gras ball for his frat, and I drove from Hammond to ULL for this. And when I get there a day early just to like hang out with Logan because I haven't seen him in a while. I get there a day before. We go to a bar called the Bulldog. It's a local bar, and there was a 25-cent pitcher night. So we're like, of course we gotta go, you know. So me and my buddy Logan met up with a buddy of his named Kinsley, and Kinsley got absolutely sloshed on 25-cent pitcher night, and we ended up taking him to back to his apartment that he was living in, and what happened was when we took him there, we realized how far away we were from campus. We had to walk 4 miles back to Logan's apartment. And me and Logan are definitely not sober at this point. So we're walking past a whole bunch of like campus police and everything else. So we're like, oh man. So the day of the ball, we're hungover from the night before. Okay, we go to McDonald's for breakfast because that's the only logical solution. Okay, so we happen to pregame the pregame, which is a bad idea for anybody.
Pregame the pregame.
Pregame the pregame.
Maybe don't do that.
I'm back, guys.
So we pregame the pregame, then we actually go to the pregame. We start drinking more. This is where you have to decide whether it's me or Logan that was the culprit in this. So I'm going to refer to one as the blackout friend and one as the drunk friend. Okay? We get to the ball. The blackout friend decides to drink a full 1/8 of Fireball plus 2 drinks. Then after the ball, we go to a bar called JSP. It was the last night JSP was going to be open, so the bar was packed. We get to the bar. We're partying, hanging out with a whole bunch of the frat guys, talking, making conversation, and we happen to notice Logan's ex-girlfriend is there. We continue to party and drink with the frat, and at the end of the night, around 1, the ex-girlfriend decides to kiss me and make Logan jealous. I quickly push away and try and find Logan, and I apologize, and he's like, I knew that would happen. So after our night, one of us is blackout drunk and the other one is a barely functioning drunk man. So we decided to call an Uber. The person blacked out hurls on the Uber on the way back to Logan's apartment. We're going to change the setting to the next morning because the story is better told this way. The next morning, the blackout person wakes up in a puddle of their own vomit and decides to take a shower because that's just disgusting. The sound of the shower wakes up the drunk friend, to which the words that exited their mouth were, "Holy shit, you were still alive. We didn't think you would make it." Oh, man. And then after this, the rest of the stories can be told through the drunk friend's eyes because the black friend was the blackout drunk friend was absolutely gone. So, the drunk friend explains that you puked in an Uber all over yourself and were unable to walk up the stairs to my apartment. I then had the fireman carry you up the stairs to the apartment. I decided to take your suit off from the masquerade ball because it was all covered in vomit, and that's just disgusting. I was able to take your jacket and shirt off, but I decided your pants were also full of vomit, so I was going to take those off and put them in the washer for you. As the drunk friend was struggling with their shoe to get the pants off, you then lean up at a 90-degree angle like you were possessed and say, "You have to wiggle it," and then pass back out.
You have to wiggle it.
After not saying a coherent
Wiggle.
After not saying a coherent sentence for 2 hours prior, that was the only phrase the blackout drunk friend said until the night ended.
All right. So
Wiggle.
if I were to take a guess on who the blacked out friend was, I believe Logan was the blacked out friend.
I don't have a dog in the fight, so I'm gonna just go both.
But
Perfect ending.
all right,
twist
Maybe y'all a
story.
good story.
that is all that we have for y'all on this extra spicy pod
I want to
episode.
thank Hunter for coming and being a guest on tonight's pod.
Absolutely.
Thank you for sharing your
I enjoyed
experience,
it.
your insight.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's fun.
Yeah, you made this podcast a lot better. So
Any last shit we want to talk about, Evan? I mean, there's lots to say, but there's not enough time.
Evan is a great guy, but sometimes he just enrages me.
wow, I was not expecting the enraging part.
You know, sometimes he breaks my zen, and that's not very fun.
Oh well, that's my job is to break yours in.
Oh man, come on.
Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm supposed to annoy you. That's my job. It's in my contract. When I first got offered to do, or when I first came up with the extra spicy pod idea, I had to come up with an idea to annoy Landon every single episode or every single week. So, and
I gotta get dirt on Landon so I can come back. And then
don't worry, how about some point?
Okay.
But this
I'm gonna grab some ex-girlfriend that's still attached to you or something.
this dude is the equivalent of Batman, though. He literally keeps everything private. Everything. He don't want to tell me shit.
Take his phone.
You don't tell me shit.
What do you mean? I tell you most of the shit. Most of the shit.
Only the past like two weeks, maybe 4 weeks. Before that, you kept things private too. Don't lie.
Well, Hunter's my amazing friend. That's also the retired boy here.
Damn, I'm not amazing.
You are amazing, but he is.
I'm gonna go to you, brother. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's all good.
But I still love you, Landon. No Diddy.
Pause, bro.
I
Pause.
said no Diddy. But
I was gonna buy some baby oil.
Whoa, there,
No.
buddy. I'm
No.
not
No.
coming to your house, bud.
please don't. I'd lock the doors on your ass. I'll keep you out of there. But I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you, Hunter, for being on. And shout out for everything Landon does and all the editing and stuff. I hope everyone has a great day, no matter what.
Yeah, with that being said, adios.
Peace out.